Are you a single parent using online dating? If so, pictures are a big deal, and so are the fact that you have kids. So, should you put pictures of your kids in your online dating profile? I've got the answer to that coming up next. What's good, everyone? Mario here. In this video, what I want to do is share with you my take on this debate of should we include children in our online dating profile pictures, because we have people all over the board who agree, disagree, or vehemently opposed or vehemently in support of. And the thing is, everyone has some validity to their arguments. So what I want to do is kind of get into that and then offer you where I've come to as an online dating coach, and who's very experienced in this world. What can I share with you? I'm going to share with you what I've come up with. Okay, so getting into this situation, we have people who I'm saying are right, regardless of what side they're on. If you think it's a mistake, you're right. If you think it's a good thing, you're right. But that doesn't make it so cut and dry, because in this situation, there's not always a right decision. There's not a right move. I think there's a better move here when you kind of take everything into consideration. What I'm going to take into consideration are the people who are saying things like, I think we should, because I want to be transparent. I want to be honest. I want to show people what my life is really like. I want to display my values. I want to display, what I'm about. I don't want to hide that. I want to give people exactly who I am right off the bat. Okay, I get it. You're right. That is a good thing. I'm not saying it's not a good thing. What I'm thinking, though, is does it outweigh the risk and the possible punishment? Is the risk worth the, risk versus reward sort of thing? And so let's look at some of the bad. Well, there's some people who are just automatically going to think that you're untouchable because, one, they don't want your children. They don't want to date someone with kids. Or two, they might think that someone who's putting their kids in their online dating profile is showing poor taste. It's a bad move, and they're going to disqualify you for that. And then there are going to be some people, a third group, who are not necessarily opposed to kids, but in comparison to your competition, they would just rather pay attention to the other person. All things being equal, they barely know you. They just see a profile, and that's what we have to remember. That with online dating, you don't have this great level of value that's already developed. Like, your perceived value is slim to none when you start off. Basically, people just have pictures, a few pictures at that, and a little blurb about you as far as written content, so you're not getting to offer very much to be judged upon. So it's really super important what we do choose. And putting children in our profile pictures, that's something that gets quite the reaction. But let me ask you this. If we're saying it gets quite the reaction, well, I've shared with you how it can get quite the negative reaction, but how often does it get quite the positive reaction? How often does someone get fired up like, oh my God, you have 4 kids. I have 4 too. I'm so excited. Like, I'd love to get to know who you are. Oh my God, you have 3 boys. That's awesome. It's not that those people don't exist, but there are very few. Most people are just operating from their preferences, which you're allowed to do. We have a preference for body type, profession, for wealth, for sense of humor, whatever it is, and even whether or not people have children. We all have our preferences. And the thing is, we all value these things, but we value everything at different levels. And here's the thing that I want to kind of bring out, like, there's this group of people who, if you give them the opportunity to profess their preferences, they're going to say, I'd like to meet somebody who doesn't have kids. And the thing is, that's very different from them being opposed. Okay, it's just saying, give me a choice. I'm not going to go that route. These people are opportunities, because here's the thing. All of us have these preferences, but you need to understand that our values are different for these preferences. So right here might be like, I'd rather they not have kids. But that can be superseded by a preference or a value for someone who's so complimentary, so easy to be around, such a great partner, that is more important than if you have kids. All right, so it's like a superseding sort of value. All right, and those people are out there. Also, people are out there who think that they know what they want, but they don't. I think you ask them what they want. People always tell you what they think they want. Doesn't mean that's actually what they want or what they respond to. Someone could say, I don't think I want to get involved with someone with kids, and next thing you know, they're having a ball dating you, and they're really enjoying getting to know your kids, and they didn't know it was an experience that they would end up really enjoying. Sometimes people don't even know what they don't know. So here's the thing. When I get to it, ultimately my bottom line is like, there's a risk. When you put children in your online dating profile, that you're going to get disqualified, that you're going to eliminate part of the population that you could be open to. And it's a needless and preventable risk, one that really punishes more than it could possibly reward. So I would say, don't put them in. But then the next thing that happens is people say like, well, that's not being true to who I am. Like, I've got to be honest and I want to be upfront. And so I say, okay, well, let me ask you this. Is there anything holding you back from having the fact that you have children brought up in your conversation with somebody? And they're like, well, no. It's like, okay, well, is it something that you could bring up in the conversation when it comes up kind of organically? Like, hey, you're talking about, someone's like, so what are you up to right now? Oh, I'm cooking dinner. I got these 2 kids at the table kind of driving me crazy. I could come up organically. So you don't have to force it. And then somebody's like, okay, but what you're doing is you're just not letting someone disqualify you too soon, because there are going to be a lot more of those and those who will reward you for posting those pictures. And when you are communicating with people, I'll say like, well, hey, if it doesn't come up soon enough, like, can't you just bring it up to somebody and say like, hey, so tell me more about yourself. Like, what do you do? Do you have kids? Thing is, you can even do this. I don't even call it a trick, but you ask people questions that you want to answer about yourself. Ask them if they have kids, and then guess what? They're going to ask you next. What do you do? Do you have kids? Why, yes, I have 2 boys, blah, blah, blah. They're like, oh, okay. Here's the thing. A lot of it is presentation, all right? It's not that you have kids. Kids aren't bad. It's presentation. Present them in a way that shows that you're socially competent. All right. Present your children in a way that is allowing you to make the first impression yourself. Don't make your first impression me and my kids. That's a first impression that's too big. Okay. Make your first impression just about you. And what that allows people to do is get a chance to know you and invest in you and be like, I'm interested in this person. Like, I approve of her pictures or written content, and the conversation, she seems pretty chill. And then when they find out that you have a child, which doesn't have to be very long into the conversation, they've given you a chance. They're trying to get to know you. And more often than not, you're not scaring them off. Okay. And the thing is not that everyone is going to go running off because you have kids, but you do know what it's like when you have kids. Not everybody's down for that. So why would you bring it up so quickly, so abruptly, so without the proper presentation or any context or any opportunity to get to know you first? I think that's not the best route. So my path is, don't put them in your profile pictures. And look for opportunities to bring it up organically in a conversation. If it doesn't come up, you could even bring it up on your own. And one of the ways that you can do that, again, is ask them questions that you would like for them to ask you so that you can answer. All right, this is what you can do. I think it's a much better route. And ultimately, you want people to know that you have a kid or children. What difference does it make if they learn it 10 minutes later? All right, if you think that's too much or that's unacceptable, good luck. But for the rest of you out there who have an open mind, who are thinking about, well, what can I do to be honest and transparent and still, telling people about who I really am, but I don't want to be stupid about this putting them in my profile. Most people don't do that, and that's the truth. Most single parents don't put their kids in their online dating profile. So if you're sticking out, and sometimes you're sticking out for the wrong reasons. You don't want to stick out as someone who is the social misfit. Sometimes it's good to just follow the rules of social norms. One of them right now is most people don't prefer to see your kids in your online dating profiles. They think it's in bad taste. And a lot of times you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're blowing up opportunities before you have to, or needlessly. And I think if you just offer a little bit of better presentation and allow people to get to know you first, that's what I consider to be the better move. And all at the same time, not being someone fake. You're not saying that you don't have kids. You're just not screaming and shouting it from the mountaintops. All right. So there you have it. That's kind of my take on, should we be including children in our online dating profiles? I don't think so. See you guys in the next video. Take care. Thanks for watching. If you appreciated the content, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And if you're sick of feeling stuck and you're ready to level up your game and your meh love life, take action now. Click the link below to visit our website and experience our virtual game advisor feature. Choose the path of your game journey from the recommendations and resources ready and waiting for you.